What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on Draftkings for Thursday, February 4th. Now, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter, at Josh Engleman, that's me, so you can get the updates to these sim results. I took the past 2 days off, but I will be back again tonight, and I am on live before lock starting at 6:30 with Greg Ehrenberg, so tune into that. Finally, let me know in the comments section who are your favorite options for tonight's slate. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Tobias Harris, Jamal Murray, Kelly Oubre, Enes Kanter, and Kristaps Porzingis on the outside looking in. Who will be the favorites for Thursday's slate? It's time to find out. I know, this one looks ridiculous. Number 5, Dorian Finney-Smith. Small forward, power forward eligibility, just 3,900. Projected for 22. He shows up in the optimal lineup 24% of the time. There's not really a ton of value to be found on this slate. So if you want to pay up a little bit, you've got to take some chances. I like going to Dorian Finney-Smith just because it's a minutes play. $3,900, 31 minutes. He could certainly play more than that, by the way. Minimal usage. He's a 0.7 fantasy point per minute guy, just north of 9 points, almost 6 boards, a stock and a half, but a pace up spot against Golden State, which I really like in situations like this. Getting a couple extra possessions on a guy that's not the best per minute fantasy guy can squeeze out a little bit more value. Now, if we get actual value to open up, for example, if Kristaps Porzingis ends up being ruled out, or Damian Lillard ends up being ruled out, guys like Dorian Finney-Smith and someone to come are going to fall down a little bit just because there's going to be more value on the slate. But for right now, where we stand, Dorian Finney-Smith looks like a very solid point per dollar option on a limited 5-game slate. We're switching teams, but staying in the same game. Number 4, Draymond Green. Power forward center eligibility, which is huge. 5,200, projected for 29. Goal is 40. Optimal lineup 25% of the time. 33 minutes. He's like a 0.9 fantasy point per minute guy. We're talking 8 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, maybe a steal or 2. He's doing a little bit of everything, and he's really going to have to do that now that the Warriors are without centers. No Marquise Chris, no James Wiseman, no Kevon Looney. It's going to be a lot of Draymond as an undersized 5, and that, I think, is fine. Might actually help him out a little bit from a rebounding perspective. Ultimately, the role Draymond has, his minutes are ultimately secure, 33, potentially more. And at 5,200, I think that there's still some value there. He's going to have to do a little bit more with these guys out. And at that price tag and the dual eligibility, I think he fits perfectly. Oof. Number 3, PJ Tucker, power forward center eligibility, 3,500, projected for 20, optimal lineup 25% of the time. Basically, everything that I said for Dorian Finney-Smith is accurate for PJ Tucker. He's a very cheap, not great normally fantasy point per minute option. He's a 0.62 guy. That's not good. 7 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, a steal, a block, neutral pace spot against Memphis. But we just don't have enough options to pay down and unlock the guys at the top. And when we don't, I bet on minutes. I'll bet on someone like PJ Tucker or Dorian Finney-Smith, probably at a lower ownership number as well, and hope that that salary opens me up to more guys at the top end of the heap where I can get truly transcendent DFS Production is the word I'm looking for. I tried my best, but I'm not cutting this out. That's crazy. I'm talking about PJ Tucker. Do you think I want to re-record a PJ Tucker section? Absolutely not. Again, if value opens up, if Porzingis ends up out, if Dame ends up out, we're going to create a lot more value, and PJ Tucker and Dorian Finney-Smith will fall by the wayside. But right now, these are guys you have to be looking at because they allow you to play better players in other spots. For example, number 2, Luka Doncic, point guard eligibility 10,900. This is why you need cheaper guys to unlock Luka. 58 fantasy point projection. The goal is just 60. He hits the goal 43% of the time. He's in the optimal lineup 25% of the time. We're talking 36 minutes, a 1.6 fantasy point per minute projection, 35% usage. 28, 10, and 10. I'm projecting him for a triple-double in a massive pace-up spot for Dallas. Without question, Luka Doncic is my clear-cut favorite pay-up option, whether it's FanDuel or DK. This spot looks great. There's not enough Luka as far as I'm concerned. And before we get to number 1, one last reminder, like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and follow me at Josh Engleman on Twitter so you can get the updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. I'm playing again tonight, guys, so you won't miss it. And finally, my number one contender on the slate, $6,900 point guard John Wall, projected for 37. Goal is 46. Optimal lineup 27% of the time. Wall's going to step right into the Victor Oladipo role. Oladipo going to be out tonight. Wall is in. He's a 1.25 fantasy point per minute guy when Victor Oladipo / James Harden are off the floor. Big usage, 29%. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 stocks. Even if he gets a little bit north of that, that is very helpful. Neutral pace spot against Memphis, but not a matchup you're super worried about. You're certainly not worried about Ja Morant's defense. Not that I don't like Ja Morant, but John Wall is just simply too cheap for what is going to happen for the Houston Rockets today. $6,900 for a starting point guard that averages 1.2 fantasy points per minute. He's an incredible value. And it doesn't really matter if extra value opens up on this slate. Because he's $6,900, that's a price you can't ignore. So while I do like Luka Doncic at the point guard spot, he's a little bit less efficient than John Wall. And that makes John Wall my number one contender. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on DraftKings for Thursday, February 4th. I'm on Live Before Lock tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So tune into that one. An extra half hour for Jock Market as well. I'll be back again tomorrow morning with another edition of the Contenders. Good luck, everybody.